Your Harley dealer charged you $189 for an oil change last month. The exact same synthetic formula costs $47 at AutoZone and takes 22 minutes in your garage. That 340% markup is just the beginning. Today, we're counting down 12 ways Harley owners bleed money without ever noticing. And number 1, a leaked dealer document proving 58% of your warranty money is gone before a single wrench touches your bike. Number 12, the oil change upsell trap. Walk into any authorized Harley dealership for a basic oil change, and you'll walk out $189 lighter. That invoice breaks down to roughly $47 in actual product, Screamin' Eagle 20W50 synthetic, and $142 in labor for a job that requires draining 3 holes and tightening 3 plugs. Here's what the service writer won't mention. That Screamin' Eagle formula sitting in the branded bottle is manufactured to the same JSO MA2 specification as Mobile One V-Twin, which sells for $16 a quart at any auto parts store. The dealer markup on that branded oil runs 340% over the functionally identical alternative. 22 minutes. That's the actual wrench time for a competent oil change on a Milwaukee 8 or twin cam. Warm the engine, pull the drain plugs, swap the filter, refill, check the sight glass. The dealership bills you for over an hour of labor at $140 per hour shop rates. The math is brutal. DIY oil changes cost $47 in quality synthetic and a Saturday morning. Dealer oil changes cost $189 and a 2-hour wait in a showroom designed to sell you accessories you don't need. Over 10 years of ownership at 5,000-mile intervals. That difference compounds to over $2,800, enough to buy a complete set of touring luggage. And if you think a simple oil change ripoff is bad, the next item reveals what they're charging for fluids that actively destroy your transmission when ignored. Number 11, primary fluid. They hope you forget. Harley's Service Bulletin M1171 documents something your service advisor conveniently never mentions. Compensator-bearing failures spike dramatically at 22,000 miles when primary chain case fluid goes unchanged beyond the recommended 10,000-mile interval. The primary chain case on your twin cam or Milwaukee 8 runs a wet clutch and compensator sprocket in a shared oil bath. That fluid breaks down under heat and clutch material contamination, losing its ability to protect the compensator bearing, the component that absorbs drivetrain shock every time you crack the throttle. Fresh primary fluid costs $19. A bottle of Formula Plus from any aftermarket supplier and 30 minutes with a drain pan keeps that compensator bearing lubricated and happy for another 10,000 miles. The fluid change itself requires removing 8 derby cover bolts and basic mechanical competency. When that bearing fails from fluid neglect, you're staring at an $1,847 compensator replacement at dealer rates. The labor alone runs 6 hours because accessing the compensator means pulling the primary cover, inner primary, and compensator assembly. Parts add another $400 on top. Dealers have no financial incentive to remind you about a $19 fluid change. The service interval sits buried on page 47 of your owner's manual, and most riders never crack that book after the first week of ownership. Your neglected primary fluid is silently grinding away at bearings designed to last the life of the motorcycle. That damage compounds invisibly until the day your compensator lets go and takes your primary chain with it. The next item reveals an even more catastrophic time bomb hiding in your cam chest. Number 10. Twin Cam Tensioner Russian Roulette. Every 1999 through 2006 twin cam engine left the factory with a design flaw that Harley Engineering knew about and chose to ignore. Plastic cam chain tensioner shoes running against high-tension chains in a 300-degree oil bath. Warranty claim data shows a 31% failure rate past 50,000 miles. When those plastic shoes wear through, the chain goes slack. Slack chains jump timing. Jump timing means pistons meeting valves at 70 miles per hour, and that sound is your engine grenading itself from the inside out. The fix exists and costs $289. Gear drive cam conversion kits from S&S or Andrews eliminate the tensioner system entirely, replacing failure-prone plastic with hardened steel gears that outlast the rest of the engine. Installation takes a competent weekend mechanic about 6 hours with the service manual open. Dealers would rather wait. A catastrophic cam chain failure generates a $2,400 bottom-end rebuild that keeps their service bays profitable for a week. The gear drive conversion generates a $289 parts sale and zero return business. If you own a twin cam and you haven't inspected or converted those tensioners, you're playing Russian roulette every time you twist the throttle. The failure gives zero warning. 1 minute you're cruising, the next minute you're coasting to the shoulder with metal chunks in your oil pan. Harley quietly redesigned the tensioner system for 2007 and later models. They never issued a recall on the earlier engines. The next item reveals why, because admitting design flaws opens the door to warranty claims they'd rather deny. Number 9. The head gasket seepage scam. Technical Service Bulletin 0494 exists in Harley's internal database, and its contents explain why your dealer denies every head gasket warranty claim that walks through the door. The bulletin officially classifies Milwaukee 8 head gasket weeping as, quote, normal condition, unquote, when the oil spread measures less than a quarter inch from the gasket surface. Read that again. Harley corporate published documentation that authorizes dealers to call your leaking head gasket normal as long as the puddle stays small enough. That quarter-inch threshold lets them deny $1,650 warranty repairs on engines still under factory coverage. The gasket itself fails because Milwaukee 8-cylinder heads run hotter than previous generations. Thermal cycling expands and contracts the head-to-cylinder junction thousands of times per ride, eventually working the factory gasket loose at the sealing surface. It's a known failure pattern on 2017 through 2019 production engines. A $67 Cometic multi-layer steel gasket set and an afternoon of your time fixes the problem permanently. The upgraded gasket material handles thermal cycling better than the factory composite, and the installation requires nothing more exotic than a torque wrench and the factory service manual torque sequence. Dealers charge $1,650 for the same repair using replacement factory gaskets that fail the same way. They're selling you a temporary fix at permanent fixed prices while pointing to TSB 0494 as justification for denying warranty coverage. The next item exposes how they're draining your wallet through your fuel tank, and this one affects every single Harley on the road. Number 8. Ethanol damage they refuse to warn about. 38% of American fuel pumps now dispense E15 gasoline as the default option. Harley's own fuel system components carry a maximum ethanol rating of E10. The math doesn't work, and your motorcycle is paying the price. E15 fuel contains 15% ethanol by volume. That extra 5% ethanol concentration attacks rubber fuel lines, degrades plastic fuel pump internals, and corrodes injector seals at an accelerated rate compared to E10. Harley's fuel system warranty specifically excludes damage from improper fuel, and they define E15 as improper fuel. Fuel pump failures on touring models run $780 at dealer rates. Injector replacements add another $340 per side. Both failures trace directly to ethanol damage that accumulates invisibly over months of E15 exposure, and both get denied under warranty because the damage is classified as owner negligence. A $12 bottle of ethanol treatment added to every third tank neutralizes the corrosive effects of higher ethanol blends. Stay-Bill or Startron formulas bond with ethanol molecules and prevent them from attacking rubber and plastic components. The treatment costs less than a coffee and takes 10 seconds to pour. No Harley dealer will recommend ethanol treatment because fuel system failures generate profitable repairs. No Harley owner's manual warns about E15 because admitting fuel system inadequacy opens corporate liability. We're halfway through this list, and every item from here gets more expensive. The next one reveals electrical parasites draining your battery by design, with a 30-second fix dealers charge $89 to avoid telling you about. Number 7. Parasitic draw they designed in. Your Harley's factory security system draws 35 milliamps continuously, even when the ignition is off and the bike sits in your garage. That constant electrical drain kills your $219 AGM battery in 14 days of sitting. And dealers positioned a profitable solution exactly where the free solution should be. The security module stays active around the clock, maintaining its connection to the key fob receiver and motion sensors. 35 milliamps doesn't sound like much, but AGM batteries tolerate deep discharge poorly. 2 weeks of parasitic drain pushes the battery below the voltage threshold where permanent sulfation damage begins. Dealers push $89 smart chargers as the solution. Battery Tender Junior, Battery Tender Plus, Optimate, all effective products that maintain your battery through trickle charging. The service advisor frames it as essential Harley ownership equipment and adds it to your accessory order. The 30-second solution they never mention costs nothing. Pulling the 15-amp security fuse when storing the bike for more than a week eliminates the parasitic draw entirely. The fuse location sits documented in your owner's manual fuse diagram. Reinstall it when you're ready to ride, and your battery maintains full charge without external equipment. AGM battery replacement costs $219 at dealer parts counter prices. Aftermarket equivalents run $140. Either way, the replacement cycle accelerates when parasitic draw goes unaddressed, turning a normal 5-year battery lifespan into a 3-year replacement interval. Your dealer sells more batteries and more chargers by staying quiet about the fuse pull. The next item reveals what's happening inside your fork tubes, and this failure pattern turns a $28 maintenance item into a $1,300 catastrophe. Number 6. Fork seal neglect equals cartridge death. Skipping fork seal replacement at 20,000 miles is the motorcycle equivalent of ignoring a slow roof leak because the ceiling hasn't collapsed yet. The seal costs $28. The cartridge rebuild after scored tubes costs $1,340. That math should terrify you. Fork seals keep contaminated road grime out of the precision machined cartridge tubes that control your suspension damping. When seals wear past their service life, microscopic debris enters the cartridge chamber and scores the internal tube surfaces with every compression stroke. Scored tubes can't hold damping oil pressure, and no amount of fresh seals will restore function once the damage is done. Drag Specialties sells complete fork rebuild kits for $187. Cartridges, seals, bushings, and damping oil. The same repair at a dealership runs $1,340 because they charge 6 hours labor and mark up every component by 60%. The 20,000-mile seal replacement takes about 90 minutes with the front wheel removed and the bike on a lift. The service manual procedure is straightforward, and the only specialized tool required is a seal driver that costs $35 and lasts forever. Your dealer has zero incentive to recommend the preventive seal change. They make more money rebuilding destroyed cartridges than maintaining healthy ones. The fork oil change that preserves seal life sits in the service schedule at 10,000 miles, and most owners skip it because the bike still feels fine. Fine today becomes $1,300 tomorrow. The next item reveals a brake system failure that dealers are legally required to disclose but conveniently forget to mention during your service visit. Number 5. Brake Fluid Degradation Time Bomb. DOT4 brake fluid absorbs 3.7% water content annually through microscopic pores in your brake lines and master cylinder seals. By month 18, that moisture contamination drops your fluid's boiling point below the threshold where brake fade becomes brake failure. Water boils at 212 degrees. Brake systems under heavy use, mountain descents, loaded touring, aggressive riding, generate temperatures exceeding 300 degrees at the caliper. When moisture-contaminated fluid hits boiling point, it converts to compressible vapor. Compressible vapor means your brake lever pulls to the grip with zero stopping power. NHTSA complaint 11442877 documents this exact failure pattern. Master cylinder failures at $890. ABS module failures at $670. Both trace to moisture contamination that a $9 bottle of fresh DI4 and a 15-minute bleed would have prevented. The brake fluid reservoir on your Harley holds maybe 4 ounces of fluid. Bleeding the system and replacing contaminated fluid takes less time than waiting for your dealer's service appointment. The procedure requires a brake bleeder wrench, clear tubing, and basic mechanical competency. Every 18 months, your brake fluid crosses the line from safe to dangerous. No warning light illuminates. No symptom appears until you need maximum braking force and discover your lever has turned into a sponge. Dealers bill $75 for a brake fluid flush. They recommend, quote, when necessary, unquote. Necessary means after the failure that generates the $800 repair, not before. The next item exposes what's silently destroying your charging system, and this one costs $1,100 when it fails. Number 4. Stator failures they could prevent. Milwaukee 8 stators running at 48 amps, continuous output without the $34 voltage regulator upgrade, fail at 3.2 times the rate of properly managed systems. The failure turns a preventable wear item into an $1,100 dealer repair. Your stator generates electrical power through copper windings spinning past permanent magnets. Heat is the enemy. Stock voltage regulators on early Milwaukee 8 models run the stator at maximum output regardless of electrical demand, generating excess heat that breaks down winding insulation over time. Racing Circles documented the fix years ago. Upgraded voltage regulators from Cycle Electric cost $156 and include temperature compensating circuits that reduce stator output when demand drops. The reduced heat load extends stator life by a factor of 3 or more, according to dyno testing data. Dealer stator replacement runs $1,100, $400 in parts, and $700 in labor, because accessing the stator means pulling the primary cover and rotor assembly. The Cycle Electric direct replacement outperforms stock while costing less than the dealer labor charge alone. The voltage regulator upgrade installs in under an hour and requires no special tools. The $34 difference between stock and upgraded regulators pays for itself approximately 32 times over when your stator survives past the 100,000-mile mark. Your dealer sells more stators by staying quiet about the regulator upgrade. Stator failure gets classified as normal wear on high-mileage engines, and warranty coverage ends at 36,000 miles anyway. 3 items remain, and they represent the most expensive failures on this list. The next one hides in plain sight on your transmission. Number 3. Transmission bearing inspection ignored. Supplemental Bulletin SE070312 specifies main drive gear bearing inspection at 30,000 miles. Your dealer skips this check because the $45 inspection fee can't compete with the $3,200 transmission rebuild when those bearings scatter across your gearbox. Main drive gear bearings support the primary power transfer from your clutch to your transmission. They spin at engine speed under full torque load, and they wear according to maintenance intervals and riding conditions. The 30,000-mile inspection catches bearing wear before catastrophic failure. When replacement costs $400 instead of $4,000, the inspection requires pulling the transmission end cover and visually checking bearing surfaces for pitting, discoloration, and play. A competent mechanic completes it in under an hour. The service bulletin exists specifically because engineering identified this bearing as a high-wear item requiring periodic verification. Dealers don't volunteer this inspection because healthy bearings generate a $45 invoice. Failed bearings generate a $3,200 rebuild that occupies a service bay for 2 days and moves expensive parts through the system. Your bearing wear accumulates invisibly. No warning noise, no shifting symptoms. The failure announces itself when the bearing cage collapses and metal debris contaminates every gear surface in the transmission. We're down to the final 2 items, and they expose the systematic theft happening right on your invoice. The next one proves dealers charge you almost double what Harley corporate says the job is worth. Number 2. The flat rate labor hour scam. Dealer labor guides show 1.8 hours for a clutch adjustment that takes 22 minutes of actual wrench time. At $150 per hour shop rates, that invoice reads $270. Harley warranty reimbursement documents show corporate only pays dealers $98 for the identical procedure. Read those numbers again. Your dealer charges you $270 for a job Harley corporate values at $98. That's a 175% markup between what they bill you and what the manufacturer considers fair compensation for the same work. Flat-rate labor guides were designed to standardize billing across different technician skill levels. A slower mechanic and a faster mechanic both bill the same hours, which theoretically averages out. In practice, experienced technicians complete jobs in half the book time, while the shop bills the full rate. The clutch adjustment discrepancy isn't unique. Oil changes book at 1 hour take 22 minutes. Brake pad replacement books at 1.5 hours takes 40 minutes. Primary fluid change books at 0.8 hours takes 15 minutes. Every line item on your invoice carries the same hidden markup. Warranty repair documentation proves corporate knows the real-time values. Internal reimbursement schedules exist because Harley pays dealers for warranty work, and they pay based on actual job complexity, not inflated flat-rate guides. Your invoice represents a negotiated fiction between what the work actually costs and what the dealer believes you'll pay without questioning. Every hour listed exceeds actual wrench time by 50 to 70% on average. One item remains, and it exposes the most profitable scam in the entire dealership. The document that proves everything should have stayed locked in a filing cabinet. Number 1. Extended warranty profit margins exposed. Internal dealer margin sheets leaked during 2019 litigation exposed the mathematics behind Harley extended service plans. And those numbers prove the warranty is designed to profit your dealer, not protect your motorcycle. 58% commission. That's what dealers earn on every extended service plan sold. Your $1,899 Peace of Mind package sends $1,100 to the dealership before a single claim gets processed. The remaining $800 funds actual warranty coverage that actuarial data proves 73% of buyers never use. Run the expected value calculation. 73% of buyers file 0 claims. The remaining 27% file claims averaging $1,152. Weighted probability says your $1,899 policy returns $311 in actual service value. You paid $1,899 for $311 of statistical benefit. The finance office pitches fear. What if your engine fails? What if your transmission scatters? What if electrical gremlins strand you? The scenarios sound catastrophic because they're designed to bypass rational evaluation of the numbers. Meanwhile, Supplemental Bulletin ESP 2019 R7, page 43, describes the $47 per year factory recall coverage that provides identical powertrain protection for failures traceable to manufacturing defects. That coverage exists. Your dealer never mentions it because it generates 0 commission. The leaked margin sheets weren't supposed to reach public view. Litigation discovery rules forced their disclosure, and the numbers confirmed what skeptical owners suspected for years. Extended warranties exist to transfer money from your wallet to your dealer's profit margin, disguised as protection you'll statistically never need. That covers the 12 fastest ways Harley owners bleed money without noticing. If those leaked warranty numbers changed how you think about your next service visit, drop a comment below and subscribe for more content exposing what dealerships hope you never discover. Ride safe out there.